Okay, so before getting started, I'm going to create a new project and get Bootstrap 5 into it. So I'll create a new folder named Bootstrap 5 and I'll cd into it. Then I will install npm or node package manager. You can use the cdn as well, but here I'm going to install the Bootstrap 5 module instead. You can refer to their website for the name of the package, which is bootstrap@next. So I'm going to install it through npm. Once it gets installed, I'll switch over to my text editor, which is Visual Studio Code. Okay, here I'm going to create an index.html file, which will be the main HTML file that we'll be using. Then I'll create another folder named scss, and inside it I will create a custom.scss file. If you guys do not know what scss is, it basically enables you to write CSS code with programming logic into it. Like you can make enumerable functions and everything. So for it to work, you need to install a compiler called Lightsass compiler. So I've already installed it, but you can install it, and once you install it, you will have this option called Watch Sass. So what this will do is, if you write any code in custom.scss, it will convert it into a CSS file, because ultimately the HTML only reads CSS files, so we need to link CSS only to it. So once you figure out all these things, then we will then go and get the HTML boilerplate and we'll link this style sheet into it. Okay, so this is now done. So now we actually need to import the Bootstrap library into our SCSS file. You can see their documentation to know how to do that. Here you can see that you can either import the Bootstrap or you can import like the parts of the Bootstrap, but I'm going to import the entire Bootstrap in this case. But you can also import the certain parts that you want to like change or customize. Okay, so as I told you that SCSS enables you to customize your CSS files using functions or variables, right? So here I am going to use a predefined Bootstrap variable called as body_bg. So I'm going to redefine it with a new color, and you'll be able to see that on refreshing the page, that new color appears. From the documentation, you can see that the theme colors are also defined using variables. So we can even customize these variables to our own custom colors. For example, I can redefine the primary color, which is initially blue, to a purple color. Now if I add this to the background class, we can see the purple color appear. Further, we can also define custom theme colors, which can be later assigned to classes. For example, here I am creating a custom color and initializing it with green. So now if I add this color to the BG class, you will see that the background will change to green. So like a Bootstrap also provides you with mixins that you can use in your SCSS file. For example, color level is such a mixin. It enables you to create different shades of a color. For example, here I am using a primary color, and the numeric value determines that you want a darker shade or you want a lighter shade. Since I am using a -10, this means a lighter shade. So you'll see that when I refresh the page, a light blue color will appear. And now if I make this +10 and then refresh the page, a dark blue color will appear. So mixins are not just limited to Bootstrap. You can also create your own custom mixins. Let me show you this using an example. I'll create a Bootstrap grid and then customize it using a mixin. As you can see, initially the grid looks really bad. But now let us define our mixin. I'll name the mixin as modmix. You can consider mixin as functions only, and like functions, they will also have variables. So these variables will act as values for various CSS properties defined within the mixin. For example, here align will define the value of justify content, color will define the value of the background color, while height will define the value of height. It's a basic function to center a div, and I'm using it as a mixin so as I can use it multiple times. So I'm creating a class named mod1, and I can then include this by using @include. So once I include this mixin, all the attributes inside it becomes the attributes of the class. So now this class has become a class that will center a div and will make the div's background color as. Now I will assign this class to all the cells, and I'll also add a margin to them. Now you can see that it's looking much better, and by using a simple mixin we were able to do so much. Now let's move a step forward. I am defining another mixin but with a different height and a different color. So you see, by using the same mixin I was able to define two different classes so easily. So in Forms, 5 new types of inputs have been introduced. You can check these inputs out in the documentation. I'll give the link down below, but I am going to show you right here. So I've created this HTML file where I've already added those inputs and aligned them properly for you to see. There is also this JavaScript which is console logging the input values once we submit the form. So here are the 5 types of inputs. The first one is the multiple select. This is very similar to the normal select, but instead of the drop down menu, all the options are directly in front of you. The second one is the data list. The data list is very similar to the search option, but it only gives you the options that you predefine in the HTML file. So you can select from those options only. The next is the switch. It is very similar to that iPhone toggling button. Then there is range. This actually gives you a value between 0 and 100 based upon where you place the slider. And the last one is the color. The color returns you hexadecimal value of the color that you chose. As you can see, when we submit the form, you can see the values. The color is giving a hexadecimal, the range is between 0 to 100, data list is giving the selected value, and the checkbox is given either on or an off. 3 new components have been added in the Bootstrap, and one of them is Post. So Toasts provide you a Bootstrap based UI for your push notifications or alert messages. So in order to use Toast, first of all, as you can see, we need access to the Bootstrap object. So in order to access the Bootstrap object, we need to include the Bootstrap JavaScript library into our application. Once we have included the script, then we can access the Bootstrap object and start working. We can go to the documentation and copy code for a toast. Now if you directly try to run this code on the browser, you'll see that nothing happens, because these are notifications, so they must be triggered somehow through JavaScript or some on-click button or something like that. So in order to do that, we must get hold of a JavaScript variable. For this, you can use this piece of code. Yeah, this will enable you to do is, it will select all the toasts in your HTML document and put them in an array called as toast list. So now you can access all your toast elements by iterating through this array. Now I'm creating a button which will trigger a notification. Now we can define the different options for a notification. So they have, in the documentation, they have already provided what options are there, whether you want animation or not, auto hide or delay. Delay means for how much time you want the toast to be there on the screen. I'm going to define only 2, which is the animation, and the delay I'm going to give a delay of 2 seconds. So once we have given the options, we can create the C function, and which will be triggered when the button will be clicked. So this will be a simple function. I will iterate through the toast list, or I will iterate through all the toasts and will show them one by one. For showing a toast, you can see there is a show method which is given in the documentation, so you can use this. I am going to use this same method on the array elements. So now when we refresh our page, we will be able to see the button has appeared, and on clicking that button, a push notification will appear and it will disappear after 2 seconds. Also, you can dismiss the notification by clicking the cross button, which is there in the UI functionality. Bootstrap has now got a wide range of new icons from which you can choose from. So I'm going to show you how you can use these icons into your project. So you simply click on the icon that you like, and the icons are exported in SVG format. So you copy that link and simply paste into your project. So I'm going to use 3 icons here, and the good thing is that you can also resize the icons by changing their width and height. So once you have got all the icons in the project, then they will be automatically rendered on your home screen once you refresh the page. So there is no need to use Font Awesome now. You can directly use the Bootstrap icons for the projects that you want. Unlike Bootstrap 4, Bootstrap 5 provides you a wide range of colors which you can use easily in the form of variables. Let me show you how. I'll use the previous example of grid only, but this time for coloring I'll use different shades of purple. You can see how easy it is. Lighter shade means a lower value means a lighter shade, and a higher value means a darker shade. So I'm using 3 shades of purple. You can use your own custom colors.